Motor Trend Truck of the Year 3 times in a row? That had never been done before. Then again, neither had a 12-inch touchscreen or 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Never been done before. It's just kind of our thing.
All right, Flames TV live at the Intermission, brought to you by Ram Truck, winner of Motor Trend Truck of the Year for the 3rd year in a row. And luckily, in order to do this job, there's no skill testing questions. Instead, we'll talk about what we've seen here through 40 minutes. Of course, the Boston Bruins have a 3-1 lead. Let's go back to the second period and kind of take you through what was an eventful middle frame here at the Scotiabank Saddledome, and some work left to do for the Calgary Flames as we enter the third. But we'll start with some chances. We saw a few of them to finish the first period. Well, here was one early on to the second. The Lou chance, they were there. There's the one-hander from Milan Lucic, and that was turned aside by Allmark there, but it would be the Boston Bruins who would get a nice little deflection here in front. Brad Marchand gets a stick on it. That finds a way past Jacob Markstrom. That's his 11th goal of the season for Brad Marchand, and it was a 2-0 lead at that point. The Bruins would add another quick one. In fact, about a minute later, it was another one that would end up finding its way past Jacob Markstrom. This one courtesy Charlie McAvoy, who gets a pretty good look here, just the top of the slot, and eventually would find the back of the net right here on the pass from Patrice Bergeron. That was thrown out front. Bergeron has points in 3 straight games now for Charlie McAvoy. That was his fourth goal of the season. 3-0 at that point, but here we see some of the pushback from the Calgary Flames. It comes first 5-on-5. This a glorious look here from Matthew Tkachuk, and it's robbed by Allmark with the glove. Tkachuk's had a couple of really good looks here so far in this hockey game, and eventually it would pay dividends being around the crease, around the blue paint, and this one finally on a power play comes to fruition. The 5-on-4, working it around. They had a few different looks on the 5-on-4, but it would be right here at the side of the net that Matthew Tkachuk finds the loose puck and puts it home. And you can see kind of a little bit of relief there. Finds one finally on the power play. First one in 4 games for the Calgary Flames on the man advantage for Matthew Tkachuk. That's 12 goals on the season. Lead to some more momentum before the end of the period as well. This was another man advantage. A pretty good look here from Johnny Gaudreau. The slap shot, but Linus Allmark makes the save there as well. And the Calgary Flames will have to find 2 more goals at least to tie this hockey game in the third period. But again, some momentum to build on. Here's a look at what we've seen now through 40 minutes. 31-15 are the shots in favor of the Calgary Flames, actually doubling the shots of the Boston Bruins. But of course, trail 3-1 after 40 minutes. All right, what do we go in here next, guys? All right, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here. It's a busy night across the National Hockey League as we take a look at some of the completed games early. Of course, the early game on the hockey night in Canada. Toronto over top of the Chicago Blackhawks 5-4. They get a late one. They had a lead in that hockey game, ends up going away, but they'd find a way to win the hockey game in regulation. And then some of the games that are just wrapping up here as well. Seattle falls 4-1. Philly over Arizona. Pittsburgh with a narrow victory over the Anaheim Ducks. So some keeping an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard in the Pacific Division as well, and then a couple of games underway right now as well. Carolina Hurricanes of note leading the Edmonton Oilers up in Edmonton. All right, that is it for Flames TV Live at the Intermission. Here in the second, we'll see you in the post-game show coming up after the game. Enjoy the third period, everyone. Let's see a couple of goals here on the home side.